Alright, so we have a shield for a dump truck that we're working on today, and we have to get it cleaned and prepped so we can we're going to give it a shot at trying to use a aluminum brazing rod to clean it up. We do have a MIG welder, but we have a argon CO2 mix, and this takes 100%, so we're going to try a different way of welding this back together. The welding rods that we are using, somebody's using the planer. The welding rods we are using has a tensile strength of 33,000 pounds per square inch. So we're gonna start working on this, getting this cleaned up, prepped, ready. Once we get this all ground down, cleaned up, we're gonna grind it a little bit to taper the edges, and then clean it up with some acetone. So I'm going to start making some noise. One thing that is important about welding aluminum, whether you're brazing it like this with a rod or welding it with a rod or using a MIG or TIG, you want to make sure that you're using a clean stainless steel wire wheel to clean up the surfaces. If you are using a carbon one, it can leave some impurities which will make your weld not be as strong as it should be. Alright, let's head to the next one. Whatever you do, just don't touch it. We're going to clean with the acetone, but any oils or anything that you get on it will cause you to have a little more issues. So somebody before us tried to repair this with looks to be a two-part epoxy aluminum weld type stuff. I have a little bit of the stuff in here that's caked in. I need to chisel it out, clean it up, because it will be just an impurity that's going to cause this problem when I go to weld this. Big old chunk coming out of there. There we go. I'm impressed at how hard that was. That actually held in there pretty good. Go ahead and grab that side. look too bad. Try again. Alright, you ready? Keep a hold of it. Alright, let me hold on to that. We're just going to set them down there for now. Got to clean up a few spots that are not like they should be. Alright, let's go ahead and take a break. The boring part is done of cleanup. We're going to hit it with a grinder, bevel the edge just a little bit, and then we'll get into the fun stuff. We're going to start trying to braze this. Alright. So we got our metal all prepped, cleaned up, wire brushed. I looked at it. It actually was pre-beveled from the last person that tried to use the two-part epoxy to aluminum weld it back together. So I got a can of acetone, and I'm going to soak some paper towels. We're going to wipe it all down, get it cleaned up, ready to braze, and we'll take a short break, let it dry, and then back at it. All right. Make sure you get in every little crack and crevice. If it starts getting dirty, move it around, get you some more acetone on there. The key is having a very clean surface when you go to do this. I'm sure it'll stick together, but it's not going to be the same if you don't clean it as well as it should. A good prep surface is going to save you a lot of headache down the road. It's a nice hot day here, so it is drying extremely quick. I'm scrubbing it on, and you can see it evaporating off really quick. It normally evaporates pretty quick, but we're pushing close to 100 today. The other thing you want to do is make sure that you're moving at a pretty quick clip to make it through this. When we come over here on this side, we've got a pretty good crack right here, and with wire wheel in it you can't see it, but that crack ran down here just a little bit, so it's going to spread. I think what we really need to do is to flip it over, take a small drill bit, drill it at the end of that crack to keep it from spreading. So I'm going to have my camera guy go ahead and shut us down for a minute while we grab a drill index and a drill. Alright, so I was looking at this, I found a couple spots I didn't like, so I'm going to take a file and just clean it up a little bit. So go ahead and grab that drill for me. So I grabbed a 5/64 bit. Hopefully you can see this. Right here.
Here, let me zoom in. There we go.
Right here is a small hairline crack. So right at the end of that hairline crack, I'm going to go about another 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch down. I'm going to drill a hole, and that's going to help this stop from spreading. We probably wouldn't have any problems with it since the welding rods, the aluminum welding rods, have such a high tensile strength, but I'd a lot rather be overcautious because this is up on top of a dump truck and I do not want it flying off and hitting anybody. So, found our spot right there. Plus that gives me a good spot where I know I have to take and run that brazing alloy all the way down to. Here you go, sir. Now we're going to clean this one back up since we did some grinding. We'll go ahead and grab a couple more napkins. Then we're going to get into the fun part of this. Hopefully you can see this. This is butted together pretty good. We're going to get it where everything's pretty level and laying appropriately. Trim up my one leg a little bit so it's laying right. Got a good, about a 1/16 to a 1/8 of an inch gap between most of these. So we're going to get this aligned best we can. And then start brazing. Go ahead and pause that for a second. I'm going to shim this up a little bit better. Alright, so we have the Benzomatic brazing and welding rods. You get 2 of them at Home Depot for about $10, or you can go to Harbor Freight if they have them. Today they didn't have them, but they have aluminum brazing rods as well. A little higher tensile strength actually, for 8 of them for $20. So today we have 4 of them to work through this project, and we're going to start getting this material heated up a little over 700 degrees. We are not going to put the heat on the rod. We are going to heat the material and then allow the rod to melt on the material to fill in the gaps. Alright, let's get started. Yeah, the more it cools, the more it's cracking. I will say the tensile strength is pretty good on that. We will see, but it's not good when you have to heat both sides to fix a butt joint. Alright, let's pause the video, let this thing cool down, and we'll see what we've got. I'm not too sure and not too impressed. Alright, so it's cooled back down, washed it off. Looks like it's got a little bit of a warp, but that could have been whatever they hit it on. But we're gonna see if this holds. I'm gonna smack it on the sawhorses, and if it breaks, then we learned our lesson and we tried at least, so let's try it. There it goes. Cracked right in half. And even where we drilled our hole, you can see it at least stopped it from spreading. So hopefully you learned something from it, but this will not work. So we're gonna have to figure out what our next plan of attack will be. I'm gonna have to grind this all down, see what we can do. Best bet would be to have a MIG welder and the right mixture. Should be just argon gas, not argon and CO2. So, but I'm kind of impressed. I smacked it pretty hard on this sawhorse. That wasn't too bad. Key thing to remember: butt joint. Gotta kind of heat it from both sides. That's where it's nice with a welder. You can come in, hit it with a pass on this side, flip it over, heat it up, hit it with a pass on the other side, and you're feeding a solid stream of solder the whole time, or welding lead. So here is a lesson learned. So we'll try again. Thank you.